In progress.
6:45, we'll start the meeting. Any need for executive other than the one that we already have?
I have a legal.
Motion to go into executive in our meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So we do have a need to amend the agenda. We have to add a warrant in the amount of $13,488.54. Is there any other amendment? Is there a motion to adopt the amended agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anything on the meeting minutes of March 6th? And we also had town meeting minutes of the 4th. I didn't see anything. Okay. Town manager's report is in the packet. Anybody had any questions on that? Otherwise, we're going to move on to a lot of things going on tonight. Any select board member remarks? Public comment? Okay. Old business. I'd like to table appointments till next meeting. Everybody's okay with that?
Do we need a motion? I'll make a motion. We need to wait until we have full board. Next meeting.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is that regular meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So new business. Actually, Liz, I'm gonna skip around so you don't have to stay here here all day. Policy on dogs at the rec area.
Yes, hi. There was an updated ordinance, I believe, a couple of years ago requiring all dogs to be on leashes at the rec area. That is not the case, unfortunately. I myself personally was there a few months ago with Sean and Tyler looking at some damage, and we had a dog approach us that was not on leash, and if it wasn't for a person standing next to me, I would have fallen into the brook. So, thankfully that didn't happen. I've had a couple of people call and complain about dogs being off leash. I had a mother complain that her little girl was nipped by a Chihuahua at somewhere else, and they were at the playground, and the dog was running around off the leash, and the little girl started crying, and she doesn't want to go back to the rec area because she's afraid of the dog being off leash. I've had Joe, our maintenance gentleman, come to me and let me know that he has had disc golfers with their dogs not on leash. A couple of local patrons have had their dogs off leash as well. I had a disc golf meeting a couple of weeks ago when we were speaking about the maintenance and the upcoming changes that we're going to do to the disc golf course, and one of the members was not happy that I asked the dog to be on leash at all times. I provided a copy of the updated ordinance stating that the dog has to be on leash. He stated that he was going to come in and dispute that. That's why it's on the agenda. So we just need to make sure that the community knows that all dogs need to be on leash. This particular sign is all over the rec area at the entrance and all around the park itself, reminding folks that dogs have to be on leash. The fact that I'm converting the concession stand into my office in the spring and summer months, I think is going to help in my enforcing the dog leash, law, and letting people know if I see a dog off leash to just simply say, please have the dog on leash, and approach every single person and situation as it comes. But it's all over. It's people calling, emailing, and approaching me here in the office to advise that dogs have to, be on leash because they are not at the moment. So I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that that is becoming an issue, and we're just wrapping up summer. We're going in, winter. We're going into spring and summer, and it's just going to get a little busier down there, and I just want everyone to be safe and for the community to know that it's the park for everyone to enjoy, and we just want to make sure that all patrons are safe and all dogs are welcome, but they just have to be on leash. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks. And then I know it was a couple of people have asked for maybe a dog park where their dogs can be safely off leash.
Exactly, because a lot of people ability to open up their door and have their dog walk around and run around and just take out all that energy. So a few people have mentioned to see if we can possibly put a section of a dog park at the rec area. I'm totally open to the idea. We have the room, we have the space. We would just have to see how much it would cost to put up a fence, see what kind of liability issues we would face if we were to have a dog park. But if that is something that the community would like to have put at the rec area, so like that their dogs can, run and, exert all that energy that they have, we can certainly work and, work together to make that happen. But my biggest fear is someone being approached by a dog and then that dog be pepper sprayed, hit with a rock or something like that, just because they're trying to protect themselves. So it's just like, I just want to keep the peace and make sure that everybody's having a good time and just following the rules that are basically very clear and stated around the park itself.
I see the one at West Rutland used an awful lot. I go by there several
Yeah.
times. There's people there. Every time I go by, there's several dogs there.
Yeah, and they had it separated. They have like a section for small dogs. I take my dog there all the time sometimes just to see other dogs. So
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people don't have it. I'm fortunate. I know my door, my dog's got a whole backyard. So you know,
exactly same. I have 2.5 acres, so I understand the frustration of property owners and dog owners that don't have that ability. But I think we should just all follow rules. And if we want to have a dog park, absolutely, let's work together and make it happen. But I want to make sure that all the kids and all the adults have a good time and everybody's on the same page when it comes to that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it.
All right, have a great night. Okay, so the session, so just to remind everyone, we're just getting information on the process going ahead. So if anybody has specific questions after the presentation. Yep. Do you need, oh, got it set up.
Do you want to run it? If you want to. It's up to you.
I can speak and then that would be.
Go ahead. I'll move. Watch out for the antique map.
Oh, I know it. Plexiglass. Before it does get ruined.
You guys want to move a little bit so you can see or?
I can surely.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Carolyn Coda. I am actually the project manager for this project. I've been the project manager for quite a few years, but I'm now actually in a new role. I'm actually the program manager for the structures group at V-Trans, so I'm playing 2 roles for this project, trying to help my team out. So I'm here to talk about what's happening down on Route 7, Bridge 108, and I have with me this evening Carrie Yellenuk. She is our brand new V-Trans regional construction engineer. She was the resident engineer as of she just moved into this new role this week, and Kelsey Record, who's from V-Trans, is the resident engineer. She will have some inspectors with her doing a lot of the inspection on the project. And on the screen, which you can't see right now, she's there hiding somewhere.
She's in the background.
In the background is Stephanie Barrett, and she is our public information consultant. So she's going to be doing weekly reports. If there's concerns or problems, she's the one to call. Don't call me, call her. You know, that type of thing. But she's there. She will try and assist us. And when we have changes in our traffic control plan, phases and things going on that are going to affect the traveling community, she will be on it. Right, Steph? I know you're muted. So, and then also with me is, I think we have someone from Belden here. Yeah, okay. So, that is Dave. See, I've never met him. So, our contractor for the project is Belden Construction, and so Justin Belden on the right. And on the left is David Kennedy. He's the one doing all the work. Justin just sits in the office and just, does nothing, I think. That's my understanding. But anyways.
The money.
So they're the contractor. And if we have any questions, they're going to help me answer them tonight. So and when I say something wrong, they're going to straighten me out. So, let's see. How does this one work?
And help. Oh, she got it.
Okay, so the purpose of this meeting, as I said, is just kind of an overview of the project as we've designed it. talk about the construction schedule, the different traffic control phases. There's a whole bunch of different phases going on, and then a time for questions and comments afterwards. So I think everyone that's here knows where I'm talking about. So here's our bridge area. The project actually goes up to about up here somewhere. We're going to be redoing where they stopped the segment 1 project. We start right there from a pavement and sub-base work, and then go, and it ends about right in here somewhere.
Right about Arch Street.
Yeah, it's at Arch Street. So let's see. You can't see that, so let's do this. That's better. So just an idea. This is what the new roadway. Rutland is in this direction, so we're heading north on 7. And this is where our project pretty much, our approach work starts. It kind of overlaps where they stopped. Now, of course I have the full screen, but that doesn't help me. Oh, okay, let's try this. Okay. That's what I was looking for, okay. So here's where the bridge is. This is an outline of the existing bridge, this little dashed area, and this is what the new bridge is going to look like. It's going to be a curved bridge. There's going to be 2 lanes on the bridge, well, 3 lanes total, but going south there's 2 lanes, one a right turn only onto Vermont 3, and one a straight, it goes straight up, or a left-hand turn onto Oxbow Road. There's going to be a sidewalk. We're extending the, replacing the sidewalk all the way to the area here near the parking lot here, and bigger shoulder over here, and then eventually what's going to happen is, this looks a little funky here by Arch Street. That segment, that's the official segment 2 Pittsford project, which I don't know when that will happen, but that will match in this area. There we go. So just an idea, this is what the bridge typical the bridge typical. We have 3 11-foot lanes. There is going to be a little striped, tiny little island to kind of separate the north and the southbound. Not the north and south, but the right turn lane and the straight through lane going south. And there's our sidewalk, and we have this concrete combination railing, and the railing on the bridge will be anodized black, will be black. And we also have the water line over here. So, means of traffic. This is just kind of an overview. There's actually 5 phases to this project from a construction standpoint, different phases and how traffic's going to move around. Right now we're in the phase 1 with respect to the bridge. There's a phase 2 of the bridge, a phase 3 of the bridge, and then there's, and like I don't know how Dublin's going to do everything, but there's a phase, could be a phase 4 and a phase 5 with respect to Route 7. So just giving you an idea. And this is showing like stage construction. In other words, like eventually at some point you will be driving on the bridge and they'll be building the rest of the bridge. And that's like the phase 3. So it's 2 construction seasons, and construction season to me means this, you know, from now until the fall of 24, and then it's going to actually run through some of the winter. They're going to do some work, and then they'll stop for a little bit, and then they'll start back up in 25, and they have to be done, I think completion date's in November of 25. So right now they've already installed their erosion control measures, their traffic control for phase 1, and traffic's been maintained on that existing bridge, 2 lanes, 1 lane north and south. They removed part of the existing railing that was on the bridge, so that they're getting ready to prepare to install the temporary bridge for the traffic. So that phase 1 is what's happening now, and My understanding is, hopefully the temporary bridge will be installed by May sometime. So this just gives you an idea. So this is the phase 1 where traffic's over on the existing bridge, and then eventually, and they've removed this part of the bridge, the existing bridge. I don't know how much they've actually removed, but that's what they're working on, so that they can bring this temporary bridge and install that over a portion of the existing bridge, give or take. And then phase 2, the traffic's on the temporary, and they remove this part of the bridge and build the new bridge as much as they can. So basically what you see out there now, there's the traffic barrier. It may not look exactly like this. They've had to make some adjustments in the field. So, and that's common for contractors. We work with them. If something doesn't seem to work for them, we try to adjust as best as we can. So phase 2 is we move traffic onto the temporary bridge. And then, like I said, we're going to remove the existing bridge, that portion that is to the east, and they'll construct the 2 abutments, abutment 1, abutment 2, as much as they can. There's a portion of it. They'll install girders, they'll construct the deck, sidewalk, bridge railing, and then they'll move traffic onto that part of the new bridge, and that is ultimately their goal by the end of this year, is to have traffic on the new portion of the bridge. And then they would remove the temporary bridge and the approaches to that. And then they also, as part of this project, is the town water line is on that bridge, so we have to move the water line. So we are going to put that onto a pedestrian temporary bridge, which will be east of the bridge, and that will be installed because we have to maintain, pedestrian access at all times because of the sidewalk. So the water line will be on that temporary pedestrian bridge, so that we're always, and then we're putting in a new water line after the fact. So here we go with traffic control 2. So what happens here is traffic is going to be shifting to the west to get over that temporary bridge, and then it will come back and match into 7. So it's the intersection of, it's going to be really tricky, Oxbow Road. It's not quite, it's a temporary situation. They're going to take a right and then they would take a left. You're not going to be able to travel back, opposite. So it's a little bit different, temporary situation.
Is the temporary bridge, is that to maintain 2 lanes of traffic?
One lane in each direction, one lane in each direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So to maintain 2 lanes of traffic, you're doing the temporary bridge rather than just doing one half of the bridge, keep one side open, and close the other half and do the other side.
Yeah, there's not enough, it's not feasible to do that. It's a very tricky, because that existing bridge is not your normal existing bridge, like one abutment is much longer than the other abutment and it's huge. At one point they had talked about doing 3 phases where they would do all different types of construction to the new bridge, and it just didn't seem to be the best way. It would have taken like even another year to construct everything. But there'll always be 1 lane of traffic in each direction. And this bridge that they're installing, the temporary bridge, is a little bit wider than what we would normally have to accommodate the trucks as they go around. And these radiuses are tight, so the traffic is going to go very slow over this bridge. It's going to be very slow moving.
So you hope.
It has to be. You can't.
We've had some people traveling 70, 90 miles an hour through town.
Right.
That bridge isn't going to mean nothing to them.
It is when they don't quite make it. Yeah. So, yeah. So then phase 3, what I call phase 3 is they move traffic back on the new bridge that's been built. They'll build the rest of the abutments, deck, railing, erect the girders, and then eventually, yeah, this isn't, remove temporary bridge and approaches. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Thought you looked at this. Okay, traffic control phase 3. This is when traffic is over here on the new bridge, and then they build the rest of the bridge, and we have a new bridge. And there we go. This is where, whoops. Very sensitive. So you can see that now traffic is over here on the new bridge. They remove the rest of that and they put that in, and there's still, the traffic control is still gonna be, you know, it's still gonna be very limited, very tight because the contractor's in there working. So a lot of things going on. So then I have what's called Traffic Control Phase 4 and 5, reconstruction of US 7 south of the bridge. So this is where they will shift traffic way over to the west, build a portion of and build the east side of the US 7, and then vice versa. Now that's what I'm saying, but Belden could do whatever they want to do there as long as there's 2 lanes of traffic maintained at all times, north and south. So maybe they want to do the one side, you know, I can't predict the future there. And there's kind of that layout there. You can see traffic's been shifted over. And traffic will be shifted way over here. One going south, one going north, and they'll rebuild all that area. And then traffic control phase 5 is that now they've pushed traffic way over here to the east. And they'll be building everything here on the left. So one thing that we have allowed the contractor to do, they're allowed 2 weekend closures of the intersection of Route 3 and US 7. We had it in our plan for 2 different types of activities. One being when they're installing the temporary bridge, possible, and they have to do it like, there'll be enough notice, there'll be a lot of notice, and they actually have a detour that needs to be in place prior to that happening, so that traffic will go, either they can go all the way to US 7 this way, or take Route 4 and go around, but it will be closed for, you know, a weekend so that they can do the work that they need to do. Otherwise, they can't do the work at all. There's just no space. It's very tight space. The other thing, just that prior to us starting construction, it was recommended that we put a message board up on Route 4, recommending that tractor trailer trucks stay on Route 4 to US 7 and then take US 7 to travel north and bypass Route 3 in its entirety, just because it's going to be very tight intersection. If we can get more trucks, especially the Omni trucks, get them off of Route 3, that would be very helpful, and they can stay on 7 and Route 4. And the only other comment, there may be some occasions when the intersection of Oxbow and Route 7 are closed, like during the day, something like that. That is a possibility, just to give the contractor a little bit more room, and there would be a detour provided by the contractor for that traveling public, if that's what indeed they want to do. Does anyone have any questions or comments or concerns regarding the project? Yeah.
Do you have any time frames at all for
Yes,
days?
time frame. Yeah. So what they're doing right now should all be done by the middle of May, around that time frame is their goal. And then they'll get that traffic shifted onto the temporary bridge, and then they are going to move like crazy people to get that existing bridge out and start building the new abutments. And they hope to have traffic on that bridge late fall, give or take. And then what they plan on doing is, once traffic is on there, they're going to want to take that temporary bridge out. So they'll try and get that out. After that, it could run into, I think, I can't recall the schedule, but you know, maybe like December or something like that. You know, we'll get that out, and then they'll probably go on hiatus for a little bit, and then they'll come right back in and start building the other half. They can do a little bit of work during the winter. Late winter, they could remove part of the existing bridge, things like that. But most work on bridges, we prefer that they do it when it's a little bit warmer than 0 degrees. So, very helpful. And so then they'll come back in, so then they'll do that work, with the traffic on the new bridge, they'll do the rest of the bridge, and then they're gonna do all that earthwork and all the fine, all the little stuff. There's water line work that has to happen, there's sidewalk work that has to happen, there's just a lot of other tasks that they'll be working on, but they have to have the project completed in November 2025.
When is the footbridge gonna go in?
When is the pedestrian bridge gonna go in?
The bridge will go in just after the temporary bridge.
Okay.
We're gonna build it on the existing bridge there and then lift it into place.
Oh, you're so smart. Good idea.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, yeah, so that will be probably end of May, early June. Any other questions? Yes.
Is there ultimately going to be some kind of traffic control for traffic entering that intersection? A traffic light or something?
Nope, it's going to be, the future is going to be through US 7, it's north and south through traffic. There'll be stop signs on Oxbow and Vermont 3, but no traffic signals. In the future, it doesn't warrant it. The numbers don't warrant a traffic signal at this point in time.
Okay. How many lanes are going to be coming down Route 7 to the north?
One lane coming down Route 7.
Okay.
2 going up?
And 2 going up. It's going to be
The same as it is now.
It's the same as it is now, really. So if you're as you're approaching the bridge, so if you're coming from the north and heading south, when you come here, you have to make a decision. Do I want to take a right onto Route 3, or do I want to stay straight or take a left? So here, there's 2 lanes here, and then if you're going south, you're gonna just kind of cross over, and then eventually you're gonna eventually pull over to the right because there's 2 lanes going up. Because there's 2 lanes, but the width is 2 lanes from the intersection going up. There's a width, may not necessarily be marked that way, 100 feet or so beyond the intersection, but then it is marked.
You were talking about keeping trucks on 4. 4 doesn't go to Amia.
No.
No.
The trucks, if you're traveling, going from 4 to US 7 and then take US 7 north.
Well, normally trucks that come in from 4 will turn at the light there and Proctor, or go through Proctor from Business 4 if they're gonna go, if they come in that way and then come out by the mobile station there on 3.
Yeah, they've been told not to go that way by Amia. Amia's been working.
They're also told not to go Whipple Hollow.
I know.
How many times I see trucks and I'm
Problem in Pittsford, there's too many covered bridges, so.
They're gonna put detours up, correct?
What?
You're talking about putting a detour in West Rutland, or on
Just-
4, keeping them off?
Right now, there's a message board on 4 that says, on your trucks, not on you, we don't want to.
No,
But
don't
trucks,
single them,
yeah,
trucks.
So I don't want to single them out, but trucks take 4 to 7 and then.
3's closed to
There's 3's
through
closed,
traffic
yeah.
on trucks.
Yeah.
I think that was
And then
the
when we
idea.
closed that intersection, we would like just detour everyone around. And then locals know how to get around anyway.
just gonna avoid it.
It's just a couple
I
days.
won't be going through town for the next 2 years. Go
No.
Whipple Hollow.
It hadn't been that bad so far.
No.
So far.
I said so far.
Yeah, so far. I'm waiting for it to turn into Cluster Junction.
It's been very good so far.
Well, I think that, that's why we have a public outreach person. That's why we have VPN staff there, so that when things do go wrong, we can resolve the issue as soon as possible. And if it means we have to make adjustments to something, that's what we can do. Hoping, this is a little tight. It's a tight area, but we've had worse construction situations where it's even a tighter work area. Yes.
Can I ask the boys, on the ground question. Yeah. How do you, what's the vibe when you look at the bridge? How's it feel? Do you kind of have any surprises, maybe? Or
It's in poor shape.
well, yeah, I get that, but we knew that to begin with, right? But so how's it, you've been there, how's it feel?
All we've really done so far is we started drilling the other day, and the rock is just about where we think it's at from the drill. So that's a good first sign, and I'm hoping we stick with that.
That is good.
Once traffic's on the temporary bridge, traffic won't touch the existing bridge again. So
Which is good, because I don't, the condition of that bridge is very, very poor. I don't know, how hard was it to take the bridge railing off?
Not hard at all, I'll bet you.
Really?
No, we hooked onto it with the crane, cut a few of those anchor bolts, and
1 anchor bolt.
the barrier was a good idea.
Yeah.
Whoever put it.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. Any other questions or concerns? I mean, this is your opportunity.
Traffic heading south on Route 7 and heading to Route 3, making a right turn there. The slip lane is gone.
The slip lane is gone.
So you're going to have traffic waiting. If you have, there's only a single lane headed to that intersection from the north, right, on Route 7?
It only opens up into 2 once you pass the mobile.
Right, so when you're, so if you're
headed south on Route 7.
If I'm headed south on 7, I'm going to be in this left lane and I'm just going to go straight. Now, if someone is in front of me that chooses to that wants to go onto Oxbow Road, which is no different than what happens today, then I have to wait for them to make their left-hand turn and then I can go south. If I come here at this point and I want to go onto Route 3, I'm just going to stay in that right lane and I'm going to just turn onto Route 3.
Okay, or wait behind the car that's turning left.
No, I don't have to wait behind the car because there's 2 lanes on the bridge.
2 lanes on the bridge.
Okay.
3 lanes on the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 lanes going south on the bridge and 1 lane going north, in other words.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
3 lanes permanently, but for the duration of construction, we'll be just 2.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, during construction, we're just having 1 and 1. That's the only one we have.
Okay.
So when it's finished, your right-hand turn lane, you're expecting will probably become a passing lane, so people can get around traffic turning left onto Oxbow?
No, they shouldn't because we're going to have that striped and they're supposed to stay by the traffic, not law, but you're supposed to stay in that lane.
Right now, people waiting to make a left onto Oxbow, if somebody's going straight, they're just going around the person and continuing on.
And they're not supposed to do that.
Tell just about every motorist on the road that.
Well, and unfortunately, I know people do that. It's in our instinct, we're not patient people. I mean, I think society, we're not patient, right? So we do that. But if you could get a warning for doing that, especially if you go to do that and then you run the risk of causing an accident and not just by making that wrong move. So it's the same thing here. I mean, there's going to be signs, there's going to be painted stripes, it's going to be telling you this is what you're supposed to do. And the time when someone decides not to do that and causes an accident, that person is the one that's going to be at fault.
In the new construction, is that a curb in front of the mobile?
No. What this is in front of the mobile station, this is actually just striped. So it's telling drivers to stay right here and stay here and go to the stop bar, but this is all striped so that tractor trailer trucks can maneuver around the intersection. And it also, tractor trailer trucks will come up here and then they can come across and make their turn. But there is no curb. This right here is like a raised truck apron sort of thing. So when tractor trailer trucks come, they will come and take a right-hand turn and they will drive right over that.
I've got a concern about the trucks using the new right turn lane. They've used it to turn right onto Route 3, and I'm concerned about that will block the visibility of southbound through traffic for drivers at the Route 3 stop bar. So just to kind of put you in perspective, the trucks now comes down and goes through the slip lane. Now the trucks are going to come down through, and they're going to be in that turn lane. And if you're on Route 3 and you want to go north, there's a chance that you're not going to see a car because of that curve. And we've had, as everybody knows, we still have this under appeal. We've had an engineer present this to V-Trans, and we're waiting to hear back. We've not heard. But a car traveling 35 miles an hour covers 51 feet per second. In this instance of what I just illustrated to you with a truck, there will only be 37 feet separating the eastbound car from the southbound car. So Dan, you come up Route 3, and you want to go north up to Pittsford. There's a truck in that right turn lane. You're not going to be able to see. There could be a car that is in that loss of sight.
That's going south on 7?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a possibility. And it's not, there just isn't enough sight distance according to our...
Though theoretically, I mean, that is a quote-unquote controlled intersection, and anybody that comes to that intersection there, if they got half a brain, will sit there and wait a moment. If there is a tractor trailer coming and they can't see, the logical person will wait until they can see. The illogical person will roll the dice and possibly end up being the hood ornament for that tractor trailer.
Yeah, but that's one too many. The first one that happens. And we did have a fatality down there. So, and it was exactly that. A car pulled out in front of a truck, had clear visibility. I'm just saying now, all of the trucks that are using Route 3, which are substantial, that's going to create a very, very dangerous situation. That, in my opinion, the slip lane prevented that, because now you're moving all that traffic where there's no evidence of crashes using state statistics. Now you're putting them all within within two 11-foot travel lanes. Those lanes are 11 feet wide. On the northbound, the right turn lane, and the southbound.
True.
After construction, they're 11 feet wide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 foot wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
We argued the slip lane a long time.
If you could fill me in on this, if it's under appeal, how did the state even start the project?
It's the state.
It's, so we had all our permits to build the project. We did get the Act 250 permit, and it's the Act 250 permit that's under appeal. So the condition of this bridge, as they just said, was bad. And we felt that we needed to advertise this project, spare the rest because there is an appeal going on. But we need to get that temporary bridge in and get traffic off that existing bridge.
And I will agree with that. I said that at our previous meetings. We need to fix the bridge. Our big contention is that new right turn lane.
Right.
And that's going to be something that Pittsford is going to have to live with. Yeah, well, I say perpetuity. I don't know how long that bridge will last. Well, it last as long as the one we've got. But
It'll last at least
my
100
point
years.
is, we have not requested a stay. We want that bridge fixed. Our issues are with what I just said.
Right. So that's why we were able to move forward with advertising the project, because we needed to get a contractor. As they said, there was a real risk last October, not this past October, October before. Bridge inspection looked at that bridge, and there were holes through the deck, and we put steel plates in there. And basically, they are under the guidance that they could have told us right then and there, we are closing this bridge. And what would happen to the community of Pittsford? They'd have to go a little while before we'd get a temporary bridge in there, because, and the detours for this community are enormous because of the covered bridges. Unfortunately. And it's like, there's back roads that people can take, but it would be taken full, because that bridge would be closed for, you know, a couple of weeks before we could get that done. So that's why we move forward with what we're doing.
Speaking of covered bridges, so I know this is set quite a ways back from this, but to prevent trucks, we already have an issue with trucks going down Elm Street.
Yeah.
Do you know where this by Kabuta's?
Oh, yeah, the one that goes down towards Proctor.
Yeah, so I assume even more trucks are going to try to go down there.
They can't. There's covered bridge.
I know, but I'm saying, will you put up, will the state put up more or better signage, or will that just be on us to do?
That's good.
Well, I don't know what's been going on right now. I don't know if it's any worse than it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of damage done to Cooley Bridge.
And the road.
Since we started work here?
Oh, no. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
If you want, I think you guys, I don't know what the state statutes are, but you do have warning.
We have another solution that we talked to a landowner today, and Chad and I, about getting.
Oh, okay, all right.
That sounds a little ominous. I don't know.
No.
But you can put up. You have some low clearance signs up somewhere.
I know, just people, I guess, just aren't listening to them.
They don't.
Well, they have to be able to read English.
I was going to say, most of them don't read English, so that's kind of, they don't speak it.
I was just going to say, I can tell you, somebody that used to do private property in Pounds, I've taken cars in front of signs the size of that map there, and they swear up and down that they didn't see anything that said no parking. And then I show them a picture of the car parked in front of the sign, and I say, which part of that did you miss?
It's like the tractor trailer trucks trying to go over smugglers.
Yeah, right.
Well, part of that, I think, is GPS.
It is. It's all GPS. And that's the issue with the local roads.
Yeah, I know.
So, you had a question?
Oh, no,
Mr. Conklin did.
Yeah, I thought it would be back.
No. Or comment.
Carol, I know some towns, the towns take care of the road in the town, like in Brandon, State Highway ends up on the north end of Brandon.
On either side, yeah.
Is there any particular reason if Pittsford wanted to take over the road, that couldn't be a possibility after this bridge is built?
That is a possibility.
Sure.
Yep. All towns can.
That's the biggest reason Pittsford never wanted to take over Route 7 was because of the bridge. That was our big reason.
So then what happens is when, if the town were to make this a Class 1 road from, let's just say, where your mobile station is, let's say, right there, all the way through to Plains Road, let's say, somewhere like that. I'm just guessing. Then everything, all the infrastructure in those miles are under the control of the town. So that would include the new bridge, the other bridge, culverts, sidewalks, but that is always, it's always a possibility.
But isn't there federal money coming in because it's a U.S. route? So if the town had it, wouldn't they get federal money for maintenance and so forth?
I don't know much. I don't believe so.
We get more state.
So if your bridge. So here's the thing, the bridge that's being constructed right now, the only thing the town's paying for on that bridge is the water line work.
Okay.
So if it were a Class 1 bridge, the town would have to pay 10% of the cost of that bridge. So, for example, this project is costing me a lot of money. Looking at I think it was 6.8 million.
Close to 7 million.
7 million. Let's just say $7 million. So the town would have to pay $700,000 for their share of that project. Okay. So that's the way that works.
I wonder why some towns have it and some towns don't.
It's because a lot of towns want control and they want to be able to do what they want to do in their urban setting. Okay. Right? So not a lot like the town of Williston, Route 2 through Williston is still under state guys. They're like, we want the state to deal with everything on that stretch of road. We don't want to have to pay anything. The state would like to say to the town of Williston, you can have it. If you want to take it over, you can. But so it's that little battle. I mean, the state would be happy for Pittsburgh to take over everything. No more plowing. I think they still do the plowing. No, they still do the plowing on the Class 1. On the Class 1, but we wouldn't have to maintain the bridges. So it is possible.
But the
We have discussed it.
Well, by the looks of that bridge, it hasn't had a lot of maintenance.
No.
No, I think, what happened?
I'm just trying to say more local, you know, I know that we've really got some real good infrastructure here in Pittsford. We've got some good people, and people that are in charge of it, and the board gets a lot of the credit as well. The predecessors and the people that come after. So.
I think what happens with a lot of bridges is that they tend to get to that point, and all we're doing is just doing a little patchwork.
Band-aids.
Band-aids to fix it, because we know that project is coming.
What's the situation with the lot where they demoed the house that the guys are staging off? Who
So
owns that lot?
Mr. Koopman still owns that lot. He was approached, it was a private, it has nothing to do with us. We compensated Mr. Koopman for the project, and I think he had a hard time trying to sell his house. He was trying to sell it, and I think it was because of the project and those impacts at the time. So he must have made a decision that it would be better for him to just remove the home, and after the project's done, maybe build something new there. I don't know. It's still his lot. Right, Dave?
Yeah, no, that's exactly. We had to do property inspections in the surrounding areas, so that's really what brought it up. We approached him about the property inspections.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The house was not necessarily in a shape to be inspected, so that's sort of where the conversation.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because he basically, I spoke with him in 20, yeah, it was in 20, and we compensated him, and he was trying to sell it back then, and I think he just decided, he just let it go.
If part of that lot was taken over, is that the existing road, or that's the finished?
This is what it's going to be finished, right.
If they took part of that lot, could you alleviate part of that right-hand turn onto Route 3?
So, there are some, there's some possibilities of some things that maybe could happen here, as long as we, you know, you still would have to have the right-hand turn. But
that addressed Ricky's concern.
He still owns this lot, and Mr. Koopman, it's a beautiful lot, and he's going to want to probably rebuild or sell it to someone to build a house there. So I have to
have a slip lane there?
Yeah, move the slip lane.
They had a bridge designed to have the slip lane. That was back in, what, 2017? 15.
And straighten out the right-hand turn.
But then they eliminated it.
We eliminated it because we wanted, because it's not, even though I've witnessed people using the slip lane and not stopping, even though they're supposed to yield, it's not a safe situation. It's just not, we're eliminating slip lanes in different areas of the state. They're not deemed to be the best solution. And in the future, you know, if 10, 20 years from now, it's seen that we need to put a traffic signal in, we're actually putting in the conduit for such future work.
You've got to be kidding me.
What?
On that hill, you'd put a traffic light at the bottom
We
of that
don't
hill?
want to put a traffic light in there. We are not putting a traffic light in there.
I would hope not.
We're providing,
I could just see that.
we're digging, you know, we're digging it all up. We're putting conduit in. We're going to have lights on the bridge.
Caution lights maybe, but if you had a stoplight there, holy cow. On a night like tonight with the roads icy and there's nobody on your stoplight, boy, you could just see what would happen there.
But anyway, so it's, you know, it doesn't, the traffic data does not warrant it. Especially, I think it's, you know, there's not a lot of traffic on Oxbow. I mean, I know people cut through there, I know it, but there's just not the volume there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people right there too, by the way. Yes, Mr. Conley.
Carol, you said you're putting the substructures in 4 traffic lights in the future when the demand meets it.
Yep.
However, if you start having accidents there as a result of this right turn lane, which I just presented about the non-visibility, is that what V-Trans would do? If all of a sudden there were just accidents as our concerns, you just mentioned something about the slip lane, but yet we just had a person say they're going to use that right turn lane as a passing lane. They pass there now.
They're not supposed to.
I know
But they do.
not, but the
They do.
thing is, your statistics for the state, which you guys gave us, it's not a high crash location.
It's not a high crash location, but again,
But if it becomes a high crash location, my question is, will a stoplight be installed?
It would be, if it was brought to our attention, we would analyze the situation. If it became a high crash location, it still takes a long time before a project can even happen. But in this particular instance, I think one of the reasons why a lot of accidents don't get reported. They just don't get, whether it's just, if I just do this and I have $500 worth of damage, it's not going to get reported. So I know that there's a lot of things that happen that just don't get reported.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's why it just doesn't show up. It's not deemed a high crash. I did my research as well, and they haven't updated all the data yet on that, but.
One thing that's really bothered me is, and we asked this at the Act 250 hearing, was about getting the speed limit reduced. And your response, or someone from V-Trans said, that's not up to us, the town's got to go to the state and ask. It's my understanding that the state did go and ask for the town went and asked for a reduction in the speed limit. We now have it reduced. They asked for the speed limit to be reduced. I believe I'm correct. If I'm incorrect, correct me. From just north of Plains Road all the way through the village of Pittsford. A 3-member board looked at it, Carol, and from what I could read out of their decision, 2 said, we'll only reduce the speed limit just south of Keith's and then down to just about where Daryl's used cars is. Then they put it back to 35 miles an hour. They said they did not want to reduce it through the intersection because trucks have to get a run for the hill. And we listened to the testimony at the 250 hearing that specifically said this right-hand turn lane was going to have a calming effect on traffic. That just, how does that make any sense? What do we have to do to get the speed limit reduced to 25 miles an hour then?
Well, I think you did the right thing, and what they did is they analyzed all the traffic, all the speeds going, and they look at different things, and I think statistically, the statistics stated that most of the people were traveling that the speed limit, like the 35, maybe someone going 37 or whatever, and it just didn't. I understand we all live in areas of the state where we don't follow the rules and we don't follow the speed limits, and we try our best to. People they go fast when they want to. But I do think that.
Say something.
But it's unfortunate because my illustrated speed was on somebody obeying the speed limit for 35 miles an hour. People gun it for that hill. We measured speeds there of over 45 miles an hour consistently through that intersection.
Well, they shouldn't. Hold on, go ahead.
So, yes, to you, Rick, the board here, when we appealed whatever to the town, we were talking just north of Plains Road to the top of the hill. That is what we asked for, so that we had a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit through that intersection. That was, I just want to clarify that is what the town asked for. That is not what we got, but that's what we asked for.
We're not done asking yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So I've started the conversation again because I think that we really need to do something about the traffic speeding up the hill. And actually, I've mentioned it to Carolyn a couple times, and so one of the advantages is if we do take over segment 2 or the downtown or the designated village district, the select board can set the speed limit like we just did on the others, where they just did on the other roads. So then the 25 could extend. But looking at a couple of things, and we've been since we've changed the speed limits in a lot of places, we've had PD up more really patrolling. I mean, we've been getting some big ones. And so it's showing that cars are just traveling faster and faster on everything, but I'm not giving up the 25 zone from Plains Road to south yet, because I think it would warrant a lot of, it would work.
Yeah, it's just hard for people to, when you're looking and you're trying to go and have a reasonable conversation, common sense, and it just doesn't.
One thing that's difficult, and watching, like, I'm sure you guys have seen it, like, the speed limit drops to 35 on top of the hill. Nobody's doing 35 going down the hill because they're going down the hill. And here you're going from a 50, which pretty much a regular traffic day is 60. That's just the way Route 7 works. Coming into a high visible area where there's nothing calming the cars down yet. I watched a truck, and I was at Pittsford Auto a week ago, and our speed limit sign, truck was hit, and it was 40 in the 25. So, you know, it's just too wide open, and cars are seeing it, and we wanted to really get the crosswalks to be involved in the 25 zone. So I'm going to keep pushing it. And
my question though is, if you're going to move the 25 zone out past the 2 lanes to climb the hill, are you going to push the 50 out? Because then you're going from 25 to 50 in a matter of that.
So there has to be a certain distance
between
between the signs and
Right.
speed limit changes.
So, I mean, right at the end of those 2 lanes, it goes to 50, and that's why you got everybody jockeying for position. And if you got a tractor trailer going uphill in the right lane and they're only doing 15, you know, everybody's going to be in the left lane trying to get past that tractor trailer. Now you make that hill 25. Chances are you're going to have tractor trailers doing 10 miles an hour.
Nobody's doing 25.
No, there isn't.
But I'm just saying, if it is zoned, nobody's doing 25 because they know it's 35 and at the top of the hill it's 50. So they're trying to hit that 50 by the time they get to the light, to the sign.
Yep.
You know, if you reduce that area to 25 and you got a big truck that's pulling 80,000, he's not going to make the hill that quickly, and then you're going to have a bunch of cars getting aggravated because people are going to want to move over, and you got people going.
Happen forever. So, you know, when the board, when we first talked about the 25, I'm sorry, I'm kind of speaking out of turn
No,
here.
it's fine.
But there were a lot of other things that we discussed on that hill, if I remember, like, you know, the new double lane goes way too far. I mean, it was a lot shorter. How many, 4 or 5 years ago? But it's, you know, and it's very wide. And, you know, when wider, people drive faster. Narrower, their vision is more, so, you know, I don't want to give up on it unless the board tells me to, but I think we need to keep pushing this, and I think we're going to see, as construction goes in that intersection, how slowing traffic down is going to be favorable to us to keep it that way. And that's, you know, that's what we're seeing. We've got, fortunately through this project, we're able to, Belden's was able to hire a PD for an officer to be down there most of the time. So that's still, they still have ticket writing abilities down there while they're sitting at the project. So
if he's watching,
yep.
I passed a few times, looked like he was reading.
I saw yesterday he wrote 4 tickets that I'm aware of.
Yeah, we've written a lot of tickets lately. So
you're making some money on my project, are you?
Yeah,
we're trying.
Got to pay for it somehow.
So the
gotta pay for
engineer
that water
that's
line.
sitting on project is not actually the one ticketing. So one stays in place and it's a separate officer.
But they're allowed to ticket if they're sitting on the project.
They cannot leave their post
Right.
to issue a ticket, so they can't, you know, follow someone into the village per se to write them a ticket. But yes, there has been a blue light presence essentially,
Which I think helps.
which has made a notable difference.
And we've actually, like, I didn't say much in my town manager report because of this night, but another thing we're starting to do is there's the Governor's Highway Safety Program that the town hasn't done for a while. So we're boosting that back up where we'll be able to do, there's more on that with the way things work. So with like cell phone violations in the construction zone, seat belts, speeding, and construction zone tickets are, you know, no one wants to get them because they're expensive. So we're gonna try and enforce some more of that too.
Well, and it would help our business. We have diesel and we get big trucks in here, and those trucks can't, I mean, they can move the big ones, but if you've got a trailer, Dan's in there and he's got his construction trailer, he just doesn't get out onto Route 7, and it'd be nice to have that speed limit lowered to 25 miles an hour. I don't care, past the mobile sign, you want to go to 30, they race up the hill anyways, they always have. So, but, you know, the designated village boundaries is a good thing, that's where you were working from. But we've got a lot of activity going on down at our store, and it's great. That's why we're there.
Well, the village limit actually goes to the top of the hill.
Right.
That's what
So, you know, it does include it.
But I'm just saying, once they're past the mobile sign, unless you get, there was some issues, I guess, up on top of the hill.
There's been accidents.
Murkowski's, turning to Murkowski's, so.
Oh, the logger, yeah.
That's another spot.
So, you know, and that's after being redone. But like he said, people are.
It's crazy. If you like, just, you know, I think our high score on that we've written tickets for on Arch Street was 55 on Arch Street. You know, so I know we've had people complain about getting passed on Elm Street. I think Sean got passed in the town truck on.
That's like a daily occurrence.
On Arch Street. You know, so it's just it's everywhere. I mean, so you know, we're write more tickets and trying to be safer with that. It's crazy. so.
But again, there's also been the uptick in high-speed speeding through here.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna.
This is good?
Yep, we're gonna wrap that up. Thank you.
So like I said, if you have questions or concerns, reach out to Stephanie Barrett, and you can always, where's the field office located again? Field office is off of Bella Vista, so.
Okay.
About 3/4 of the way up the hill, south of the bridge.
Okay.
So if you can always knock on the door and complain.
If we're not in there, we're on project. So.
All right. Well, thank you.
And my phone number.
Oh, that's Stephanie.
02-399-7847.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yep,
I just can't
thank
see
you.
your beautiful face right
I
now.
think got it quick enough. I have it.
What's her last name?
Stephanie Barrett.
Barrett.
399.
7847. I just want to make sure it's 399.
Yes, it was 399.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes,
So Stephanie is the person to call actually if you really have big complaints.
Okay.
She'll get them
And
addressed.
if you're getting calls in the office, town office, please just pass along my phone number and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's what she's paid to do. So.
I'm sorry.
Complaint department?
Yes.
So yes, yeah, she'll do that. That would be very helpful. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, you need to take care of that.
Yeah.
Pull that up for me.
Oh, and we want to. Well, that's the state road at that point. But there's a certain, it has to be done in certain increments. You can't just change it. Like if one gets pushed out, all the other ones have to do.
Right.
Like your speed reduction sign and everything.
Yeah, that's complicated.
That's gonna be the biggest problem
Yeah,
there.
there's an MTCD thing that does that.
Thank you. I will, that presentation, I will upload it on the site and you can grab it. And
Okay.
put it on the
Town website, yeah.
We can add a slide to Stephanie's contact info.
Yep.
So that when you post it. that
That's a good
can all be
idea,
on.
yeah.
Yep,
Great.
It will happen sometime tomorrow.
Okay.
No guarantee what time.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ready to move on to your MTAP funding?
So this is just a heads up. I'm still looking at funding for trying to get sewer line extension north here on 7, and so this new program came out, and I did meet with, I just gave you a little email for it here. I did meet with Greg yesterday from RPC, so it's just more money that it looks like it might have been from ARPA. And MTAP stands for Municipal Technical Assistance Programs. So when I saw them, like, oh, this would be great if it gets scoping done, because if we get scoping and feasibility done, you know, that opens up more for grants for sewer lines. So we might have a possible another property up there that could be developable because it's for sale now. So you know, we're really, Sean and I have been talking, I'm pointing to Sean, oh, he's still there. You know, as you know, we've talked about the need to extend sewers north and south, so, for housing and whatever. So, you know, this is in its infant stage. They're really trying to see if, because it was set up where like either VLCT or RPC would do the thing, but this is beyond their scope to engineer, you know, the sewer line. So they're looking in to see what, and Josh Hanford's with VLCT now, and he used to work for housing and everything, and he's great at finding money, so he's aware that we're looking for stuff too, so hopefully we have something happens with that.
All right.
So I just want to let you know.
Extending north, Dave?
Yeah, because the sewer stops, you know, just down here, and we're trying to we're only getting north to Kendall Hill. So the property across the road, there's been talk with the landowners there that they want to do something, and there might be another one on the way that could be a possibility too. So, and then we need more sewer users anyway. You know, 3 times more water than we do sewer users. So, and looking at Furnace Road at some time too.
So we need high density, affordable housing. There might be some money for that too.
Yeah,
there is. We need to get sewer there. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Once that gets there, then that opens the possibilities to a lot of things. So. Yeah, we're pushing it. And it'd be nice that when they do segment 3 that we're putting sewer lines in the hole when they dig it. That's coming up faster than we think. So
okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Tax sale discussion.
So we are in the process of tax sales, and you know, we have some properties that might go to tax sale, hopefully people redeem, but there are some that don't. And I was wondering if the board was interested in giving me authority to bid on them if no one else does, so that we can actually, if we have some, I'm thinking some distressed properties or properties that might have some issues, that we could end up acquiring at tax sale for the, no one bids on it, it's just the tax amount, you know, so it's basically just, it's a piece of paper and a number at that point. And you know, they have the year to redeem it, but I've had some successes in the past with this where we're able to sell the property after with a stipulation that, yeah, we'll sell it for a good price, but you have to clean it up within a year. So, you know, the burden's not on us, and it works. Because we can't touch it anyway for that year redemption.
Right.
Is there a list of properties that?
We have the list that went to the attorney's office for delinquents. We don't have the list of the sales yet. So actually, we've had a couple pay.
There's 5.
There's 5?
There's 5. They're posted. So if you're coming in the town clerk's office, in the breezeway entryway there, when you walk in the first door, on the right-hand side, all 5 are posted there. They're also posted at the Keith's box and the box that's in between Luda's and the post office. All 5 are posted there.
There might be 4 now because we had a payoff come from our attorney's office today.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I did. It came this afternoon, so that's back. Yeah.
Do we need a motion on that?
I'll make a motion, we give Dave the authority to purchase that property at tax sale.
Any property?
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further
We used to give
discussion?
John that authority too.
Yeah.
Would that be the case where there's no other bids, Dave?
Yeah.
Right. No, we're not going to get no bid.
No, you won't get
Right.
no. No,
It's sitting there.
Just protect the town.
Competing.
Yep.
Right. Basically, we take it for what's owed for tax. If someone wants to bid on it,
we'll let them
by all
go for
means,
it.
we'll let them have it.
Yep.
Then
Just
clean
in
it
case
up.
Yeah.
So.
By the same token, though, doesn't that put you on the hook if somebody's on the property and they get hurt? You're responsible?
No, not them, because so the way the Vermont tax sale works, so if your property goes into tax sale and no one bids on it, or if anybody bids on it and wins it, you have a year to pay that off. And
actually right now they're talking about extending it to 5 years.
Yeah,
so that's something else you might want to consider.
We just looked at the new language. The only thing that's changed right now is if the investor does it. It's not a great thing for them, but we just pulled the statute out last week, the new version. So in that year, it's still owned by you, and we won't do a deed until that year of redemption,
right?
And then it's automatically tax collector's deed, and then it becomes the town's.
Right, and then after that, while the property sits vacant, you're responsible for it.
It's like any other property the town owns. Yep. So, but there is an indemnity part on town properties as well, too. So, you know, we're not, like, for negligence and stuff, the town's not responsible for it. Unless it's like the novel story. If we're warned about it and we fix it, we're not liable for it. If we're warned about it and nobody fixes it, people continue to break ball joints and stuff, then we're on the hook for it. I mean, that's a lot, so. No, it's
All right, any further discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have the, any questions on the orders? With that added, one of $13,488.54. If there's no questions, all right, we can sign those.
What number was given? 13,488.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I should have said this during select board comments, but I want to thank our town crew, and probably you had something to do with it, for finally putting up that sign on Kendall Hill where at West Creek that tells those cars that they're supposed to yield. It's about, that's a dangerous spot because people just fly through there. So now, if they do hit somebody, at least they're liable. Thank you for that.
Where is that yield sign?
West Creek.
You come down from Omea,
Yeah,
by the underpass, by the pond, and you come up, and then that sharp corner,
yeah.
right there. Because people fly right straight through there. They're supposed to yield to oncoming traffic, and they don't. They don't even look.
No.
There wasn't a sign there before?
Never's been a sign there. I've been trying
I
for...
could have sworn there was a sign, because I always yield there anyway, just because of the intersection, but I could have sworren, because
No, there's no sign. No.
There's a sign, but I thought there was one there already.
Nope, there's not.
I think
Hasn't been. I've been trying for years to get
that
that.
might have been Chad on that one. I know we talked about, but I'll be sure to mention it to him, Dave.
Yeah,
I know
thank
we've
you.
been looking at a lot of intersection signs lately. Oh, something I can tell you. So, because it came up with Cooley Bridge and everything, so I had an epiphany a couple nights ago that when I was awake at 3 a.m. that you know, we have the entrance, trailhead for the trails right there.
Yeah.
And it's town property. We own 2.5 acres or something there. And so I got to thinking, well, if the trucks get down there, because like if we put headache bars up down there, it's got to be right in front of the bridge. It's too late at that point. We can't put them further up the road because if delivery trucks go to houses, they're going to have the problem.
Yep.
So, and really, if a truck wants to get down there, it's going to figure out how to do it. So we thought about doing like the reverse of like, you know, those runaway truck ramps to have a section where a truck could actually, if it gets down there, it could back in and get out. So Chad and I went down and looked at it today. We couldn't quite figure out where boundary lines were with Mr. White's property there, Terry. That owns.
Yeah.
So I called him because I looked up the deed and there's actually old, like it says there's marble markers somewhere probably.
Oh.
So there's no survey, but there was a meets and bounds in the deed. So I called Terry and he's like, okay, you know, he was more than willing to have us go take a look at. You know, it's something that obviously we'll look at more and make sure that the radiuses are good for the turns, but it would give the truck that ability instead of backing all the way up the road, back there and swing the turn. And I think we can get like an apron good enough there, you know, and we just gravel it or something, and you know, just push the post back a little bit for the trail there, but. You know, it was nice because Terry's the one that came to us about the turnaround idea. So he was all in favor of it.
All right,
so,
cool.
You know, we'll keep working with him too. And he's like, if you need to use a little bit of my land, you know, we'll come up with an easement.
So does this come down to the trail, right to the trail?
No, it's a little bit further up. It's of course it's hard. You look at the tax maps and the road. It's not quite the same. So
okay.
I think just by looking at it, like if you look there where the trail is, there's kind of some brush in there, and then there's. You know, a ways up, there's kind of an 8-foot sort of drop there. We're thinking that that's where those posts might be, but we're going to take a look at it and see what we can find.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Point of order, should I cross out Joe's name in certain lines?
So those were.
No, that was just before. That was before you were. You just won't sign that at all.
Officially on.
You don't get to sign that one.
That's town meeting.
Good thing I didn't sign it.
Well, good thing you read the name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we'll
leave them here.
Recess
Usually we leave them, but that's okay.
Select board and open as Water and Sewer Commission.
We do have Sean here. He wanted to hang out with us tonight.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
He's all happy about it, so. But him and Ann have asked that we talk about this, so.
Okay.
I'm going to pass it over to either of them because they've been on this more than I have.
Okay.
So, and you've got the numbers for that property, right?
Yes. And actually, they have them too, because I put it right in the packet for them.
So, I'm spacing on the name right now.
So it's Lafont. You want me to start and then you can interject? Okay. So, you guys know this property under a couple of different names. It used to be Barassa, now LaFontaine property. It's down behind the old JR's. It's a trailer. So the property was sold, I believe, in 2022. LaFontaine's purchased it. In 2022, you can see their usage in gallons over 6 months was 11,327. And then it started increasing. June 20th, 2023, it was at 18,435 gallons. And then we did a massive jump. December 18th, 2023, when we read it, it was 338,917 gallons used. it should be like one of the last things in your packet. Dan.
Yeah, it's the very last page.
Way in the back.
And we went and read it the other day, just out of curiosity where it is now, because I received a phone call from Mr. LaFontaine when he received his bill, and he told me there was no way that much water could be there because he'd be floating his trailer down a river. And I said, okay, so we went and checked the meter on January 8th. We have a video, and I actually have it on my cell phone if you want me to play it, where you can hear the water running through into the building, and then you can hear the water running out the sewer line. So we believe it's running in through a toilet or something and right back out of the building. So between December 18th, 2023 and March 13th, so last week, they've again used 49,824 gallons of water in that period of time. They say they've had a plumber come in and can't find a leak. Our video shows otherwise.
Okay.
We would like to shut them off until they do fix it because
ridiculous.
That's a lot of water.
The White House is down on the point?
No,
No,
it's the trailer.
trailer
It's
behind.
the trailer behind JR's restaurant.
Kind of sits down.
Yeah. The one closer to Paul's. Over the hill.
Yeah. It's a financial burden on the people. I don't.
Well, there's no way now.
Well, it's a lot of wasted water on
And
the
it's a
town.
lot of wasted water.
340,000 gallons is a lot of water.
That's a hell of a leak too.
No kidding.
I was gonna say, that's
yeah,
a water
that's
main
more
leak.
than a toilet.
That's more than a toilet.
That's more than a toilet, yeah.
That's more than a
So
toilet.
the water's
Gotta be.
going into the trailer? Or is it
Going in,
You
you
can
can
hear
hear
it
it coming
running
up the
through the
drain.
meter, because you can hear the meter turning, and then you can also hear it exiting through their sewer line. They happen to be very close, so when Tyler and I were there, he was able to video it, so we had some evidence to show you guys what's going
I
on.
have it. I can play it for
No,
you.
someone lives here
Yes.
and they don't hear it?
I spoke with them about it, they told me they weren't hearing it, but I said, you do have some sort of a leak. At that point in time, they said they'd look into it, and we've read it since and not had any luck seeing where they fixed it.
so that goes into the sewer too, doesn't it?
That's why their bill was exorbitantly high, because our sewer rates are much higher than our water rates. So their last bill was
We're
over.
treating clean water right now from that.
Yeah, and pumping it up the hill.
It's just watch the video. I mean, this is underneath, right, where the,
Yeah,
you can
so
hear it. Maybe you can hear it from me. It's got cold out in there, so
That's definitely more than a toilet.
it's like a washer down or something.
That's a pipe.
Yeah.
That's a busted pipe.
but you can hear it both sides.
So
Okay.
we're not allowed to enter their domicile, I guess, their trailer. But
We can't go fix the leak. They have to hire a plumber to do it.
But they're saying there's no leak.
The-
Are they paying the bill?
No.
How much is their bill?
God, it's gotta be.
Their bill right now is a little over $11,000. It's going to be going before the Board of Abatement.
Well, yeah, so there's no way now
They
I can pay
just-
that.
They just filed paperwork for Board of Abatement, and they're saying that they had a plumber in there and they couldn't find a leak at all. We're still showing substantial usage, which is, as soon as we got the paperwork for Board of Abatement, I asked Sean to go read the meter, and I got him the information as fast as I could. And I think he read it actually the next day.
So are they willing to provide the receipt from that plumber so we know there was a plumber there?
We can ask, these are not people that are easy to deal with.
Where's the
I
shut
can
off?
attempt.
Right out from the side of Hendy Lane.
I'm sure if they got a shut off, no, it's the plumber will shut off.
I guess that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, because I mean,
And
any
that's a lot of
plumber
water.
is gonna hear that,
Well, yeah.
And be looking for it.
yeah,
So
so,
us talking right now about a plumber going there, some plumbers wondering what plumbers did that. You know,
well,
like,
yeah.
It didn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should probably stop that.
Well, we
much water
gotta,
being
yeah, we
wasted.
gotta slow our leak down.
I mean, I'm guessing there's no puddling or super
No,
soggy.
it goes in the sewer.
No, just going right in the sewer.
Yard or anything.
No, it's all running
going-
down, and everything's going through the meter, so after the meter, it's all residential.
Yeah, I don't know what
It'll have to be
what would-
either a toilet, it's gonna be a drain of some sort. I mean, it's
The
either a
meter
water
is from
faucet or a
my
toilet.
house or.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
trailer, so you don't have a basement.
It's a double,
That's,
single
yeah,
wide
that's
trailer.
underneath
So
the
it's
crawl
gotta be
space.
going in, cause it's going into the sewer. Why
And
wouldn't they wanna fix it?
we were questioned to begin with, thinking that our meter was just reading high. For one, meters are gonna be biased low,
Yeah.
not high to begin with. And the way that they're set up is it's a positive displacement, so water has to go through it and move the disc to make it turn. If something's not going through it, it doesn't
Yeah.
turn.
Right.
And as you can hear, there's obviously something going through there.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could be doing in there using that now.
It's, no, nothing, I mean.
So, you guys
Shine it.
okay with us?
Run this still.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, so whatever's on the
Yeah,
other
we
side of
use
that
that
meter,
much
that's
water.
that's for them to figure it out, not for us.
Yeah,
So, yeah, do we need,
as long as we know it's the.
do we need a
meter's
vote
not
on that, or
problem.
just a consensus for you to?
We're fine if we're talking about it here and you guys
Okay.
are all in favor of us doing what.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta do something, that's,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's,
mean-
that amount of wasted water,
Yeah.
plus running it through our sewer plant for no reason.
338,000
No, that's
gallons of water, is a
ridiculous.
lot of water.
I know, and then 50,000 just in the last 3 months?
And that was from
Yeah, so
June
that's
to
another
December.
$2,000 there, roughly.
Yeah,
So $13,000.
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
so we're good on that?
Yeah, you can't.
you have to probably give them so many days' notice for shut off, correct?
We'll send out notice, and we're doing shut-offs for non-payment tomorrow, but we
Oh,
do that
yeah.
one we can do notice for, and
Time to fix it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's a non-payment too, so.
Well, that's
Well,
true.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Because they filed for
Oh,
Board
okay,
of
because they-
Abatement,
all
you
right.
can't
They
shut
did-
it off
they did
until
file,
the
all right.
abatement's been handled. And I'm waiting for a date for Board of Abatement hearing.
We can't shut it off till then.
I don't know statutorily what we can do because
Well,
there's
better
a Board
find
of
out.
Abatement appeal in for the water
Progress.
bill. But this is a separate issue.
This is,
that
we'll
is
say it's a
still
separate
using-
issue.
Right,
in our ordinance, we do have something in there stating if there's excess water wasted, we can shut it off.
Well, if it's long as it's in the
Okay,
ordinance, make
then
sure you
yeah.
check that, and if it
Yeah.
is, go for it.
make sure that's in the notice so they understand that.
Yeah.
right. Okay,
Yeah, no, this, you
Yeah.
can't
You
have
go
this.
alone when you do that, Sean?
No.
ah, yeah,
I
don't do
know
that.
Oh, you do?
We don't have liquor.
We don't have liquor.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It
We
ended
don't?
up being
What am
a
I doing?
tobacco one, and she's waiting on payments for several more, so probably next meeting you'll
Did you have
Okay.
something else, Marty?
No, I didn't, and I'm just getting,
You just having fun?
I'm just getting feel. What's going on now? Kind of a newbie, so I wasn't really sure.
Kind of a newbie.
Yeah. I feel
What's
like
it been, 15 years?
Nobody wants to poke the bear that early.
Dan, who was that?
Marty Pinkowski.
I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
Okay, so,
Yeah, he's been here a while.
Yeah.
alright, so we're adjourning water and sewer commission, we don't have liquor board, so we'll go back into select board, where if there's nothing else,
Is that a
we'll
bullet
be
every
ending into
meeting?
executive. What was
What?
that?
The liquor control?
No,
No.
so
No.
what happened was Helen had told me she thought she had liquor once, but she was locked out of the system.
Oh,
She got back
okay.
in the system and found that the one that she had was actually for tobacco, which
No.
the board does not have to approve so
Okay.
far. And but their deadline is fast approaching, so next meeting it'll probably be on the agenda with several listed, because we still have several places in town that haven't
Applied.
redone
Renewed
their,
their
renewed
licenses.
their license.
Well, renewed, there's
No,
no
they're
new
renewals.
application.
Yeah, they're renewals. So they're
Renewals,
you have to do them every year.
I know Dollar General has been told since like January that their license is in the mail.
Ah,
My daughter works there, and I asked her the other day, I was like, what happened? She's like, we've been waiting on our license to come from corporate since like January.
They have to make the payment to the state.
Yeah, it's corporate. It's above her pay grade, but as far as they go, they're waiting on corporate.
All right, well, ends our open meeting. Thank you.
Yep.